Hello my dear friends, I hope you all are doing good. This is Prashant Mavani and I warmly welcome all of you to Study IQ. Today is Sunday. I am sure you all are enjoying your Sunday today. We have many important items to talk about, but before that I would like to introduce all of you to our pen drive and tablet courses for different exams. Study IQ provides you pen drive and tablet courses for various different exams, and needless to say they are different for every different exam. And want to know more about it, check out studyiq.com. With this, dear friends, rather than starting our day with a motivational quote or a motivational picture, today I have decided let's take something from the Hindu. I have clubbed three things together, and I'm sure apart from motivating or creating a sort of awareness, it will also provide a path or it will indicate that the future is not that bad. Anyways, the picture that you can see on your screen is coming from one particular city of our country, and if you go through this air quality index that we find every day on various news channels, isn't it? Generally speaking, what I have observed is very rarely we find some cities are crossing that very bad or bad sort of benchmark, right? Very rarely we find some of our cities having a good quality of air, which is very sad thing, isn't it? But we are, right? When I say we are, I mean to say the government is trying its level best to sort this thing out. And good news is coming from Delhi. Very in near future, we are going to see 100 electronic buses in Delhi, and two depots are also going would be created for this for supporting this transport electronic vehicle bus system. And one of the biggest challenge with electronic vehicles is that batteries, right? We have to create a sort of infrastructure, or you can say you have to create this whole operation thing in which quickly you can charge the batteries, and the batteries should run a bit longer and things like that. So this is a thing. Now let's see how this thing is going to be rolled out, and I'm sure that once we will get this thing successful in Delhi, then we will see a replica of this thing taking place in different cities as well, isn't it? Now with this, dear friends, this is the present scenario, isn't it? This is what we have. This is our present scenario, and this is not, you can say, of course, in present, but a near future. But in long run, things are going to be a bit better. That's what I believe, because the way we see the younger generation, the kids, right, they are very much aware about it. Hats off to all the teachers and all the things that are going on around that is creating awareness in young minds regarding air pollution, because of course all of us are included in this thing as well. But the very young kids, right, those who are in school at present, they are going to be the future, isn't it? They are going to be the future generation, and it is very sad to know that what we have done, or what our forefathers have done with this beautiful planet, they are the ones who are going to suffer. But awareness in them, and you can see here that students from government senior secondary school, they came out on the road to create awareness regarding this air pollution. So the future is going to be bit good. Now let's crack on to one of the most important items that we have in the Hindu today. It is pertaining to Prime Minister's visit to Northeast India. Now dear friends, this is Northeast India in front of you, right? You have 7 states here. I'm sure we have talked about it earlier as well. It is going to be a very quick revision for you. 7 states. You have Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Meghalaya, then you have Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, and Tripura. These are your 7 states. Many a time they are also known as 7 sisters. When you hear or read this thing 7 plus 1, then you include this state here, which is Sikkim, right? You include this Sikkim as well with this northeastern states. Now the thing is, I would like all of you to pay attention to this portion here. This portion is of West Bengal. It is known as Siliguri corridor, and many times it is also referred as Chicken's Neck. It was in news during this Doklam issue. Doklam is not far from here, as you can see. And the thing is, this portion is a hilly area, and you can see here it is a very narrow thing. That's the reason why it is known as Chicken's Neck. Now you can imagine this is the only place through which you can enter or exit via roadways. I'm talking about, I'm not talking about airways. So via roadways, this is the only place you can enter or exit northeastern states, and this is one of the main reasons why we have not seen that sort of development in northeastern states of our country. Apart from that, there are other things as well, but this chicken snack is a big hurdle. So we have, of course, we have found a new solution to connect our northeastern states with the rest of the country. We'll talk about that thing as well, but let's see what Prime Minister has announced. Prime Minister has inaugurated crucial connectivity as well as power projects in Mizoram and Meghalaya. He has dedicated this Trilateral hydro power project, 60 megawatt power project in Mizoram, and he has also said that this power project, right, this Trilateral power project will make this state of Mizoram the third power surplus state in the region, right? We have Sikkim and you have Tripura. These are the two states that are power surplus, and you know that power is a basic pillar for it is a basic thing that you need for your development, because without that you cannot have your hotels, or you cannot have your houses and industries and e-education and e-health and all those things, right? I'm sure you understand. I'm sure you know what I am talking about. So it is a basic pillar, and without that you cannot have anything here. And we also know that our northeastern states are they have a natural potential of becoming one of the famous tourist destination in the world, and without power we cannot do that thing. So it is going to be a boost for the state of Mizoram. Apart from that, he has also talked about this dams, right? He said that dams can improve connectivity, and in connectivity the newest thing that we have added is, or the thing that will be added in near future is seaplane, right? I'm sure you have seen this thing. If you are regularly following this Hindu analysis in English, then I have provided you a picture of a seaplane a couple of days ago, isn't it? So these things will be used in northeastern states as well. As you know, this northeastern states, generally speaking, they are hilly states, and it is difficult to create or construct roads, but for emergency services, for other things, for hotels and for tourism, you can have these seaplanes, and you can use this rivers of northeastern states to land and to take off your seaplanes. With this, dear friends, in Meghalaya, 90,000 crore rupees grant will be provided for roads and national highways, and this is going to be a big boost. With this, Prime Minister has also talked about Act East policy. We have talked about Act East policy earlier on as well. Rather than just looking towards the eastern countries, Act East policy is about taking an initiative and doing things that can produce some practical results. And when we say Act East policy, we are predominantly talking about Southeast Asian countries, that is ASEAN countries. Now, how we are going to sort out the issue of chicken snack or Siliguri corridor? We have Kaladan multimodal transit transport project. What multimodal means is that you are using more than one method of transportation, say for example road, as well as you are using waterways. So you can call it a multimodal transit transport project. Now let me quickly show you how it will work. Rather than taking your goods and other products via roadways through that chicken snack, we will use this Haldia port of West Bengal, and via waterways it will reach here Sitwe. Sitwe port is of Myanmar. And one more thing that I would like to add here is that it falls in this Rakhine state. Rakhine state is at present in news because of Rohingya issue. So from this Sitwe port, you have a Kaladan river of Myanmar. So in domestic waterway of Myanmar will be used, and then you reach here, and from here roadways, and finally things will land in northeastern part. One of the most exciting thing about this Kaladan project is for the first time the landlocked northeastern states of our country will get access to sea, which is going to change the things for northeastern states forever. We have also sliced off 1,000 kilometer of route by selecting this Kaladan. So you can understand it is a win-win situation for Myanmar, as well as our country, as well as northeastern states. With this, dear friends, one more thing that I would like to add here in terms of Act East policy is this thing, Trilateral highway that is going to connect India, Myanmar and Thailand. The good thing about this highway is that, of course, you can understand we will get direct access to ASEAN countries, but we don't have to construct road further from Thailand, because Thailand has good air, land and road connectivity with other ASEAN countries. So we will get we would be able to reap the benefit of this connectivity, and with this you can understand import and exports will go up, and it will be beneficial for our northeastern states, needless to say that thing. With this, dear friends, Ravi Shankar Prasad has said that India does not believe in one gate, and he said that that's the one of the reason why government has not provided a sort of you can say permission to this Facebook regarding this free basics. We know it is about net neutrality, as well as having an, you can say, partial net, partial internet. We have talked about this thing. It is like a highway, right? You have dedicated lanes to travel on a free highway, right, or a freeway. But when you have this free basics and partial internet, what happens is that if you pay extra money, then you will be provided with a broad road, so you can speed up. And if you are not able to pay money, then your company or the internet will take you through, will not allow you direct access or speedy access to other websites. So basically this is about creating a partial world over internet. So if you can pay money, then your company or your products or your services will be there in front of the people, right? And if you cannot pay the money, then Merry Christmas to all of you. That's what this thing was all about. But luckily we have said that we don't want this system of discrimination. We want free internet, right? Free in the sense, not in monetary term, free in the sense that it should be free, it should not be partial, it should not be biased. That's what net neutrality is all about, and luckily India is standing with net neutrality. With this, dear friends, a red corner notice which is issued by Interpol. Interpol stands for International Police, right? So there was a RCN against this Zakir Naik. It's a very sensitive case, but now it is a sort of setback for National Investigation Agency, because the fresh plea or the fresh request of NIA to this Interpol has been refused. Interpol has refused to issue a fresh or you can say a red corner notice against Zakir Naik. Let's wait and watch what will come out of this thing. With this difference, I'm not sure how many of you can remember this thing, India's Most Wanted. It was a very famous program back in 2000, and I can remember, not quite clearly, but I know this thing, that at that point of time the host of this India's Most Wanted show was arrested. It was in news for a very long time that the person who was creating awareness in society regarding crime and things that are going on, that person himself was arrested for murdering his wife back in 2000. So now after 17 years it is proved that he was behind this murder. But the sad thing is the time. It took 17 years for a case like this thing to come to its logical conclusion. So this also highlights that we very badly need to change, or we need to reform the whole criminal justice system. We have to start from police and all the other things and process like lawyers and judges and everything. We know we are lacking in numbers in judges. Our police is not that smart at present. When I say smart, in the sense they don't have that technology and forensic and investigation and law and order, and all these mix up things are going on with the police. With lawyers as well, we know it is very expensive, and then you have repeated adjournments and things like that. So there are many things that we have to change if we want to deliver justice, a quality justice, in as less time as possible. With this, dear friends, Madhu Koda gets 3 years rigorous imprisonment for coal scam. Now the court has said that white collar crimes are in fact most dangerous to society. I have a question for you pertaining to this thing. This is one of the main reasons why I'm not going in detail of this thing here, but the sad thing is now, say they have got bailed the people associated with this thing, and now they will knock the doors of Delhi High Court. This is also a thing that we have to change, that if one court is giving you award, if one court is awarding you punishment, then of course we know that errors can be made, right? This thing can happen, but directly taking bail and going to higher judiciary, this thing is also creating problems, and the cases will go on and on for ages. So it is the judiciary who have to decide. The experts who have expert knowledge in this thing pertaining to judiciary, they have to come out with a solution of this thing as well. With this, dear friends, Ockhi, right, it has created huge amount of damage in terms of life as well as property. Regarding lives, we know that 900 people are still missing, right? Fishermen, they are still missing, and it is very, very painful, very, very sad thing. Apart from that, what we find in today's Hindu is that, of course, Prime Minister is going to visit this place. He is going to interact with people who have lost property as well as lives due to this Cyclone Ockhi. Our prayer goes out to all those people. With this, other sad thing that we can see is the waste, or you can say the floating plastic that we find in different seas and oceans around the world. There are many countries who chuck, or who they throw away huge amount of plastic in open seas, and this is creating or killing penguins, and it is creating many other problems to the flora and fauna and healthy seas and ocean. With this, dear friends, government of India, or you can say Union Agriculture Ministry, has warned all those major rice producing states, generally speaking South Indian states, which includes Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Telangana. Union Agricultural Ministry has said that excessive use of pesticide in rice production is this pesticides and chemicals, right? They are becoming part of food chain, which is creating cancers and other sort of problems, health issues for the people. So they should ensure that these farmers are using only that level of quantity that is permissible, right? Too much of use is of course going to damage the soil as well as the health of the people. And we also know cases of North India, particularly Punjab. You might have heard about this cancer train, and you have this cancer train because the people in that particular region, they are affected by cancer, and it is believed that too much use of chemical and pesticides has entered into the food chain in the water of those areas, and this is creating cancers and pain to lots and lots of people of our country. With this, dear friends, a very interesting as well as very you can say proud thing that is printed in today's newspaper is about Niyog. Niyog is a young lad from Kerala, and he is going he has been selected for this Arctic adventure, right, in which he will travel with other people 300 kilometers at minus 30 degrees Celsius, which is itself a very challenging thing. And you won't be in a car, you would be on a sledge, and this sledge will be pulled by this husky dogs, Siberian husky dogs. So he is the first one from our country to get selected, and let's wish him best of luck. And hopefully this is, of course, he is the first one, but I'm sure he won't be the last one. There are many other boys, right, and girls who would be inspired from this, you can say, step of Niyog, and they will make our proud. They will make our country proud at world platform. With this, dear friends, very quickly, lizards, right? This one is reported in the science page. This is a lacertid lizard, and it is believed that the changes that took place in the arid region of our country has kicked some changes in this lizard as well. And arid region, arid Indian habitats are predominantly this parts of give you a couple of examples, parts of Gujarat, Saurashtra region of Gujarat, as well as Vidarbha region of Maharashtra fall in this region. Apart from that, you have this open arid habitat in India, which is something similar to savannas and grasslands, right? Generally speaking, they are taken as wasteland and degraded forest, but actually they are having a very healthy ecosystem too. So things now, because of this lizard, scientists have started learning about this arid, open arid habitats of India, and I'm sure that many things will come out with this attention that this portion will get. With this, Beijing is in news, China is in news for its smart subway. Now this subway is called smart because it runs without a driver, right? China has trialed and tested it, and it's been successful. And this thing, I believe, in any sort of this sort of innovation that can make the life of the people a bit easier, it's not only limited to any particular country, it is beneficial for the whole humanity. And another item that is coming from China, which is very important, that a laboratory in Hong Kong is doing research on how we can sort out wastewater that is coming out of textile industries, right? How we can sort it out, and it is doing research on this bacteria, so how bacteria can be deployed to clean this wastewater that is polluted because of this textile industrial you can say the chemicals and things, right? We have seen it in our country. I'm sure you might have seen this thing, that if you visit a city that is famous for say for example dyeing and textile industry. I have been to Surat, and I have seen that many of the water bodies of Surat are polluted because of this waste coming out from this textile, and there are many examples of South Indian cities as well, which are famous for textile industry. So this is the thing, and if China can have a breakthrough in this, if it can produce some positive results using this bacteria, then this will rewrite the playbook of the global fashion industry. Things will change drastically, and the reason why we see this sort of things happening in China is because they have a golden triangle. When I say golden triangle, I mean to say that their universities, right, are supported by the government, as well as the companies, or you can say private players or industries or corporates. They do support universities as well, and you know, in universities you find young minds who are doing research on many different things. So this sort of triangle, when we will have it as well in our country, then we will also be able to see ourselves with this sort of good news. With this last item, it is about super tiger. Super tiger is not a form of any tiger that we have found, not at all. It is about a balloon, right? NASA's balloon. The full form of this is a super trans ion galactic element recorder. It is known as super tiger. Many times you find this sort of things as MCQ question, and now it is going to basically study about cosmic ray particles that are entering in our planet. And you have here a couple of things here, very easy read one. The most important or exciting thing about this balloon is that it is going to study this ultra heavy cosmic ray nuclear beyond iron from cobalt to barium. That's important bit of this super tiger. With this, dear friends, we end the discussion of today's Hindu. This is a question for you: why white collar scams are the most dangerous for society? With this, don't forget to check out StudyIQ.com for pen drive and tablet courses. Enjoy your Sunday. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'd be able to download this PDF file from my Facebook page, that is Prashant T. Mamani. And you would be able to download this thing from our Telegram channel as well. Do share it with other people. Enjoy your Sunday. I will see you all soon tomorrow early morning. Till then, goodbye and Jai Hind.